Hello, YouTube, and welcome to Dungeon of the Mad Mage. I'm your host, Andrew. On today's episode, we will see Halaster interview Grath Corvex. I don't know what more can be said about today's episode, so please go grab yourself a cup of tea or coffee, energy drink, maybe just some plain old water. But whatever you do, go down there and hit that like and subscribe button. Enjoy the show.
Welcome to the interview. First portion of the interview is pretty much like a character synopsis or like a who are you, what do you want the audience to know, your race, class, attitude. Basically let you wing that like you're introducing your character to the other players at a table, I suppose.
Okay. Well, I am Richard. I am playing... Actually, before I start doing anything, let me get my character sheet up. Because that would be the smart idea, so I actually know what I'm talking about.
No worries.
View. Here we go. All right. My name's Richard. I am playing a variant human, Grath Corvex. He is Warlock 5, Sorcerer 1. His features and traits, basically, he's mostly going to be a man of disguise, a guy that likes to spontaneously change his appearance at will. He is an aberrant mind sorcerer and a great old one Warlock, which I'm a big fan of the flavor combination there. It makes, like, the downside is that there's some completely pointless skills that come out of it, but you know what, whatever. He's influenced by the great old one, and he's going slightly mad. That's enough for me. It makes me happy, and it's an interesting character for me to play because I've always played a more lawful type or the plot driver in some of my campaigns, but this is the first one that is more of a chaotic, in the realm of Halaster. He's much more chaotic and much more sits back and lets everybody else kind of do the dirty work, and he just makes sure that nothing bad happens in the meantime. I, as a player, just like to support the people that I play with. So even though he's an old dirty bastard that always hides who he is, I still do what I can to support the players that I play with. And I feel like I've done a pretty good job with Ukig, especially. And then the collector, I'm still kind of figuring out how to be more supportive because it's a shiny bird or a bird that likes shiny things. And Halaster also likes shiny things, so it's going to be a competition. Or not Halaster, Grath. I don't know, maybe I am Halaster.
I mean, you're just gonna have to like push her towards chaotic actions. That's really what it comes down to.
Easy.
I'm loving the chaos vibe of this game because that's pretty much Halaster's core identity. Is he's just chaos. He's not evil, he's not good, he's just goes with the whim and the flow of things. Anything else you want to add?
He has a pet. His name is Henry, and it's a floating ball of flesh and grossness. And Grath feels very fondly for this pet because much like himself, he feels like people don't look at him seriously because of how gross he is. Which is part of the reason Grath is always disguising himself. I guess for a physical description of Grath, it's old man, probably older man, in the older 40s, long, wild white hair, goggles on his forehead with a gray, basically just pale gray, like off-white, clearly faded from wear, like robe that he wears. Underneath it, he has regular clothing on, but he likes to cover himself up for his disguises. He also has a cloak that is covering his backpack, and his cloak is constantly adjusting in color because of the capability. I can't remember what kind of cloak it is. Let me go. The cloak of many fashions, which means he can constantly change it. He also has a fake eye. It is an Ursat's eye that he can take out and use it so he can have multiple views at the same time. I think that's a good enough description of him, unless there's something else you think I can add.
No, I just want to say I honestly forgot you had that eye.
I haven't had a chance to use it yet.
Lot.
It's like for me, it's like it's good for setting up stealth and like vantage points. But then now I'm playing with Ukig, who runs through walls, so I can't leave. I can't leave an eye somewhere because he's just going north.
Yeah, he is. Just make sure it's always down south of him.
Exactly.
All right. So the next part of this, or the next section of this interview, I suppose, is kind of a in-game interaction between Halaster and Grath. So to sort of set the scene, Halaster basically whisks you away in the middle of the last room you were in, and he brings you to a large open black void. In the distance, you do see like 2 rows of like stadium stands. You would just hear a bunch of people cheering and hollering, but you don't see any. There's no one there. You presume that they're just thousands of invisible serpents. One of Halaster's favorite creatures to populate his dungeon with. You find yourself in a nice, large, cushioned chair. It has a high back. It stands about 2 feet taller than you do. And you hear like a ka-chink as a spotlight above you turns on and shines down onto you. You hear another ka-chink as a second spotlight shines down on Halaster. He's sitting there, he's staring at the stands with a big grin on his face. He's loving all of the clapping and cheering and shenanigans and whatnot. And he says, "Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to my interview. Tonight I present to you Grath Corvex."
So
It
just
is
to
Grath, right?
confirm, yes, just to confirm, this is directly after the last session we played?
Yeah.
Okay, so what you actually see, you don't see Grath, you see Zebel the Dark Elf, because I am still in disguise, if I remember right. You just yanked me out of the Dark Elf realm, so I will drop the disguise, and then I'll just kind of like give a princess wave, but really awkwardly, because I don't know who I'm waving at.
Halaster leans in and he puts a hand up and he whispers, "Just wave in every direction. Cameras 360. Even above and below. Don't think about that one too much."
I wave at the ground frantically.
So Grath, it's good to see you.
Yes,
Enjoying my dungeon?
I haven't really had much of a chance to explore the dungeon itself. I feel like I fell in a hole and I was covered in yams. I feel like a weird side trek, like a quest that you do adjacent to what you're supposed to do. I don't know what you would call that, but it's not awful. Who could kill the kid, and he still hasn't come to terms with that yet. That was brutal.
Yeah, I remember that clearly. He just tossed his hammer in front of the kid, and the kid walked into it. That's the story, right?
No, that's not what happened, and that's the problem. Is I saw it. Ukig threw it in rage, and it killed the kid. Now, between you and me, the kid had it coming. But I can't handle a dishonest man. He's lying to himself.
If I remember right, weren't you the one that told the children to go out there and heckle Ukig?
I don't recall that. I recall a man of royalty coming in who refused to speak with the help. I remember that man coming in.
Yes. Yes.
And I think I stepped up to use the bathroom.
Oh, I do recall that. Yes, you were on the second floor in the bathroom. Yes.
Yes.
You spoke of yams earlier. The side. He throws up air quotes. He says side quests, whatever those are.
Oh, that is a great name for that. I wish I'd thought of it.
Don't worry, I won't copyright it. So, throughout these side quests, you've gotten to know Ukig and the collector a little bit, but mostly Ukig. What are your opinion of your companions? Do you like them? Do you hate them?
Well, I'm honestly really concerned about the goblin that we left behind. I feel like we just he slid off my disc while we were floating across the river, and we never saw him again. So he might have died. Oh well. That was a shit.
I can tell you where that goblin is. There's a rather large community of goblins on the second level, one above you. He joined them and got accepted amongst the tribe. He's doing well for himself. He's got two, well, let's just call them side pieces he's working with.
So we're not good enough. I get it. I carried his body for like 50 steps. That's really hard. I'm pretty old. I don't know if you see, and I'm gonna use disguise self to make myself look old and feeble. Look, I'm very old. It's hard to carry. It's why I have the disc in the first place.
After you say that, you see, or as you're saying that, you see Halaster like turn and like wave at like some invisible help, and he says, "Get this man a cane. I'm worried he's gonna fall out of his chair."
Please don't forget the tennis balls on the bottom.
Don't forget the tennis balls on the bottom.
I take the walker. I'll use them later with Henry. He likes to chase the balls. He can't do anything with them except eat them. But it's good. It's good exercise, I guess.
It is pretty good exercise.
Now we're talking. Yeah, but he's more like a football than anything, really. He screeches a lot if I let him, but I've trained him to only gibble and gribble when I let him. Otherwise, it'd just be annoying as hell. What we were talking about? We were talking about our companions. I remember Ashanti. She was very smart. Very obsessed with butts, though. What was it called? The Shat Cannon. Just a big minotaur butt shooting at our enemies. It's original. I've never seen it, but it's very obsessed with butt stuff. No judging.
Honest, man, I'm 1,000 years old, at least. I've never seen it either.
Oh. But the ingenuity is way up there. And the collector. The collector is really interesting. I'm still getting to know them. It seems like between you and me, I think it's just a bird looking for shiny things. But, I could be wrong. And wrong is half the fun. So we'll just bide our time and see what happens, and make sure that we get the shinier things.
Well said. Well
Ukig.
said.
Ukig is a brother to me. I don't know if we're actually of blood relations, because I don't really know where I come from very well. But we've decided we're brothers, and therefore we have the same father. And that leads me to a really interesting question for you, Halaster. And I'm going to use disguise self again to now be as young as I'm going to look really young. I'm going to get a little smaller because I'm 5 feet tall, so I'd be about 4 feet tall. Going to adjust about 12 inches. So I'm going to look very young, like as young as I can for myself, and be like, am I your son? Or am I your dad? Because I'm still really confused on that point.
Well, son, a long time ago, your mother had trouble conceiving a child. She tried. So I used some of my gibbly gook magic and helped her out, if you know what I mean.
No.
And then came you.
I'm Gibbledygook?
No. The magic I use. That's the spell. That's the name of it. I'm gonna write that down.
Gibbledygook. Sounds like hip slang to me. And he will return to his original self.
Oh, speaking of identities, I mean, you can change at will, right?
Yeah, I have access to a power. I'm not 100% sure where it comes from. I know that I have weird dreams at night sometimes, and sometimes I'll be in a bathroom and slugs will come out of the drain. I don't know why. They always seem attracted to me. I don't know what that has to do with my turning abilities, but it's just where my mind goes.
Yeah, maybe it does. Maybe it doesn't. The audience wants to know, like, what's the best way to steal an identity?
The best way to steal an identity?
Yeah.
He thinks a little bit. It's quiet for about 30 seconds to a minute. Everybody's just kind of waiting, and he looks up at Halaster and he says, the best way is to hide the body well enough that they don't find him. I mean, if you want to be like that, you could also ask really nicely, but most people don't want that.
Yeah. These programs they have today, like identity lock or something like that, like it's hard to just take someone's identity unless you like hide them really, really well.
Well, I don't take it. I just borrow it temporarily till I'm done with it, and then I move on. Victimless crimes. It's like they don't even know I did it.
Oh, so you're just borrowing them, right?
Exactly. Except for Zebel. Zebel's mine.
Yes, Zebel is yours. Too bad you didn't gain any of his memories.
Well, I'm pretty good at improvising. And if nothing else, I can blast my way out.
Yes, you can. Warlock level. We'll forget that I said that. A warlock of
Level?
power. Yeah. Don't worry about that. All right. Well, let's just go on a little bit. I got another question, a thought-provoking question for you. So back when I was in my younger days, I used to play this game with my friends, right? We called it Rather You Would, or something like that. I can't remember. So all right, the two choices aren't great, right? How would you rather die, right? By publicly being exposed, as you know, yourself, might feel a little bit like being canceled, or getting yourself caught in the zipper and bleeding to death as you change personalities.
But it doesn't really matter, does it? I still die. And
I mean,
the reality is that this plane doesn't really matter because you're going to move on to the next plane. It doesn't matter if it's a furnace or something else. You're just going to pop up there when you die. So is it really death, or is it just moving on to the next plane of existence? So I don't really worry about it. If I end up stuck as somebody else, I'm stuck as them. And you know what? Hopefully I'm stuck as somebody that, doesn't look hideous. And if I end up being like a mishmash of things, well, then honestly, that makes me a beautiful work of art, and I'll live out the rest of my days with Henry. And maybe we'll get our own island or something. I don't know. Maybe we'll liberate it.
well, think about it another way. Yes, you're gonna die one day, and the people that probably love you are gonna bury what remains of your body, and they're gonna put a headstone up. What do you want the headstone to say as cause of death?
I mean, right now, with who I'm stuck with, cause of death is most likely going to be something stupid that Ukik does. And I recognize this, and I'm okay with this.
Yeah,
Because I'm also just as likely to do something just as dumb.
yeah, just make sure you're working on your ducking skills whenever he drops his hammer.
I have shield. I haven't had a chance to use it yet, but I'm sure if he tries to hit me, I can block it. Or take it to the face. Whatever happens first.
Well, we'll see what the dice say. In the end, it's all a game of chance, right? Either hits or it doesn't.
What? Dice?
Huh? Dice. Oh. Sorry, I sometimes things just slip out, old age. So, Grath, what? You seem to be all about changing personalities. You must have a favorite. What is your favorite personality to change into?
I mean, I'm always a fan of the royal elven douchebag. He's always fun to play because not that I've ever been him recently or anything, but he does like to yell about how he's better than other people. But I certainly wasn't playing as him recently. No.
No.
There was there's like an old store keeper that I used to act as once. I may not have taken his shop away because I was hungry and he wouldn't feed me. So I learned his trade for like a week until I got bored and ate his food until I got moldy. And that was a pretty sweet week. He was like a half orc. I was just trying to make it, and there I am, hungry, and I just snuff out his life. Wow.
You didn't eat his body, did you?
Oh no. What do you think, I'm a monster?
No, certainly not. No. Me.
I left that out for the rats. They picked him apart. Like, they got their fill, and then the rats flourished, and then the countryside had some issues in the farm that year. Everything's fine. I feel like the circle of life really took its way, and I am just here to be a servant.
No, I remember reading the newsline about, or the headlines about that plague. Real nasty business.
Oh, plague?
Yeah, the rats they spread and killed millions dead. Dude, half the Sword Coast gone in an instant. Over 3 weeks. On to an easy question. How about that?
That was a bread shop somewhere in Waterdeep. I wasn't a part of that.
Okay. How about an easy question? All right. What is your favorite color?
When I try to imagine my favorite color, I picture the color black, surrounded in a rainbow prism. So whatever that is.
It's my favorite color too. I call it Halaster's black.
That's not very creative, Halaster.
What? I built 24 levels of a dungeon. Sometimes I just have to be simple.
Yeah, and God made a platypus. Look where that got him.
Good thing there are none of them in my dungeon. They wouldn't last long. Tell you what. All right, I only got a couple more questions for you. I've asked a variation of this question to your two companions. What is your opinion of like mediocre people?
What is a mediocre person?
You know, not like average, not super intelligent, not super dumb, not rich, not poor.
You mean just the casual person, like farm hands, guards, guys just living their lives, women having children?
Chances are, I'm assuming here that you wouldn't steal any of their personalities, right? Or borrow. I'm sorry, wrong word. You wouldn't borrow any of their personalities.
There is a certain positive energy that comes with being a person with no responsibility. I don't know what my responsibility is, but I know that I can't sit still. I can't just live a life where I live in a house and I wake up and go to bed and I wake up and go to bed and do nothing but that repeatedly, mixed with some other stuff that I don't know what I can define that as, because I've always been by myself and I've never had an opportunity to live in a home like that. So I don't know. Maybe I'm just toxic to myself at this point. But that's okay, because I feel like this toxicity fuels me and helps me push forward. I don't really know what I'm doing in this dungeon at this point, only that I know I needed to come here. And then, based on the decisions that I've made, I was given the opportunity to blow the head off of a gingerbread man. And I can't regret that.
Neither would I. All right, last question. My dungeon is like a mega dungeon crawl, right? There's a lot of doors to open. What's your favorite way to open a door?
I haven't gotten to open a door. They keep getting broken down. So my favorite way is calmly, with the handle. Because I don't get to.
Well, maybe when we meet again sometime in the future, we'll let you open the door.
Make sure it's not facing north.
I'll make doubly sure that it's not facing north. Southeast, maybe.
Perfect.
Yeah. He turns to the audience and he says, well, folks, that's all the time we had for today's interview. Again, this was Grath. Grath, say hello to the audience. Wave. And the lights just go.
As he's telling me to wave to the audience. I would like to cast a minor illusion. I want to create an image. I want it to be like a glowing emblem around us, like a glowing light as we're fading out to like just get brighter and brighter. Because I know it's going to mess with his cameras.
Nice.
Oh wait, I'm a liar. I am now reading this and it says it cannot emit light. My plans are ruined.
You,
What about
you
rest of
hear
the
a
fish?
Halaster cackling in your head.
I don't know my spells, Halaster. Damn you.